the Muslim Quran says that, hey, there's something to do with these people, that they're going over there to the stars, something to do with information. Yes, and the Quran warns you about the number 19. So, and then Fomenko himself points out that the history is a lie.
Welcome back, David. I'm sure everybody is excited to be hearing from you again, especially after
Did
the
you just say
last.
welcome? Welcome? Wait a minute. Don't say
Yes,
to David first. The honor goes to Daddy. Can you please put him up? He's waving to everybody. He's saying hello. Daddy the Pope. Yes. Welcome back from Dad.
yes.
Yes.
Have you paid your taxes yet? So all I can say is I've had the privilege of seeing some of your most recent book, and I can only agree with what you said last time in terms of individuals can save many hours of probably expensive esoteric study and research by taking the shortcut of understanding the information that you put together in that most recent book of yours.
Ah, you finished reading it.
Indeed.
Yes. Now, the thing is, I wrote that book in such a way to save people time 10 or 20 years studying, trying to figure out what is the Kabbalah, what is, Jesuit organizations or Masonic organizations or all these things. So the thing is, the secret of what it is, what exactly is the 33rd degree. Yes, this book explains it, and why they're using these codes. Yes, and everything. So I made it very. Was it absolutely clear? Like something that mystified you for years. Was it absolutely clear what's going on in the Kabbalah?
Definitely. I would say I have never heard an explanation that's so simple, let's say. And that's, of course, also part of the whole mystery. So I don't even want to say more about it because it's all in the book. But yes,
Well, many people have complained about the price. If they want, I'm sending you screenshots. Here is Albert Pike's book, you know, Masonic Formulas and Rituals. What is the price of this book, by the way, for formulas and rituals, trying to figure out codes and other things?
well, but if
How
I want
much?
to understand the Kabbalah, you think only this one book will be enough? I will need a few more, no?
I'm giving you an example, just an
I
example.
know, but I'm just saying. So this book is only 1,300 pounds. So that's like $1,600 probably now.
Yes. Well, people are welcome to get that book, or if they're not satisfied, and what do you call it? They want to get that what's known as the Book of Masonry or Freemasonry or Friar Masonry, Brother Friar or Pharaoh Masonry. Yes, they'll say an original edition, a new edition, and they've been revised. Many of these books have been revised, modified. How much is this one?
No, it's pretty
By
cheap.
Mackie.
It's only about $400, I guess. 360 pounds, yeah.
Yeah, $400, 400 euros. If anybody wants, they can do. And then even at the end of the day, many people who join these, societies like Jesuits or Knights of Malta, or they're aspiring to join these things, they will read many similar books. And for example, let's see. Um, the thing
And
is,
let me only mention one
there's
thing,
some
just
comments.
also people understand why you're doing these presentations and why you're making the books in this way. Because the one thing is, what do I have to invest to get, let's say, a book or a presentation or some information? But the other question is always, how long do I need to even understand and properly relate to it? And with books like this that are already very expensive, I'm not sure how many hours it takes to read them, and then how many more hours does it take to actually understand something. So if people value their own time, that's something else to consider. Yeah, whether you want to spend
To
many
be
years
honest,
researching.
I'm just going to make it simple. I don't care. It cost me thousands. Yes, I basically stole money from my parents, saying, "Hey, I'm going to buy these books, but I brought some other books, extras, and things like this." So it was stealing, I would say, but it's like I told them it was for education. Yes, it's going to help in my studies, but it wasn't really going to help my studies for the age of 15. So the thing is, and in that book, I explained the 33rd degree and what is the number 19 very clearly. And there is, of course, people from an Islamist background, yes, who are barking like dogs. And the thing is, they turn out and say, David follows Fomenko and all that. I just want you to read it. This is Fomenko's new chronology page, according to Wikipedia. So what does Fomenko say here? Fomenko examines.
He examines astronomical events described in ancient
That's enough.
texts. Hmm.
That's enough. Now the thing is, I've highlighted it in that color. Yes, it's like if anybody goes through that page, yes, just on what's it called? Just on Wikipedia or anywhere, what they will notice is that the page is full of um, I'm just going to, here is a screenshot of like, 5% of the page or 10% of the Wikipedia page. How many times does the word astronomical appear? Can you see in front of you right now?
11 times on that one page.
Well, yes. So now the thing is, of course, yes, you've read the book, my new book that I've made that goes into the secrets of the Kabbalah and what it's to do with so-called astronomy and astrology and predicting things and organizing the timeline in this book. Yes. What do you call it? Yes. So Fomenko goes through the same thing. Of course, Fomenko didn't point this number out, but of course, now if you had to choose a number between 1 and 100, which number is the key to astronomical data, would you say?
Well, by now I'd say it's the 19.
Yes. So is it clearly explained in my book?
Certainly.
Was Fomenko talking garbage going through this astronomy, or is everybody else talking garbage saying, hey, Fomenko's shown that history is a lie. He's going through the astronomical symbols, astronomical data, and he's done calculations to show it's a lie. And then he's given a timeline, not his own opinion. He bases it on astronomical evidence within these documents that they wrote. Oh, these historians wrote them, so no one can say Fomenko has said this is the dateline. He says this is what we can find within the astronomical evidence. Yes, yes.
Right.
And of course, there was a pathetic quote: Isaac Newton and all this garbage. Yes, and Isaac Newton's books. But now that you know the truth about the printing press, do you think these books even existed in the past?
No, of course not. Or they were
Yes.
forged, yeah. Hmm.
So all these comments of these people who are coming in, yes, who are just liars, they're not people who want to question things and check through history. That they just want to show if it doesn't fit in with their religion. Yeah, it's the same with evangelicalism. I'm not going to point one religion out. Yes, I'm not going to apologize for the behavior of Muslims in the last video in many of the comments. Yes, it gives their system a bad name. And then what do you call it? Yes, it's not me. It is not me. You by now, because we've spoken about the Bible, the Vedas, and the Quran, I'm sure you've been through some parts of the Quran. Yes, that specifically that I point out. Now, which number? Name one number from 1 to 100. Yes, I've sent you a screenshot that is actually specifically mentioned in the Quran, and it turned around and says a story about it connected to a test and a trial and a warning. What number? Which number in the Quran is a famous number from 1 to 100?
It is the 19, yes.
Yes, and regarding this number in the same text, it says that it's something to do with a trial and a test for people who will not believe, and so that you will know for sure something to do with the truth. And it's connected to one of the greatest warnings to humanity. So now, if any, the thing is, there is Fomenko points out the astronomical data. Yes, and so now, by now, after you have read this book, yes, I'm not just saying this if people don't read this book. I cannot explain the full book here. But the current clock we've got, yes, the way they've designed it, what number is it based on? Choose
19.
a number.
Yes.
What number?
19.
And the current calendar we've got, yes, the Gregorian and the Hebrew calendar, what's it all based on? Based around the dates and everything, so that it balances with which number
Yes, it's
for festivals and everything.
all coming back to the 19, yes.
Oh, don't you do you know how hard it is to design a calendar? Yes, it's difficult with astronomical calculations. So Fomenko knew these astronomical calculations. Yes. Now Fomenko, of course, for some reason, has not pointed out that this number is there. Like, for example, he points out the falsification of history by the Jesuits. Yes. So he points this out. Yes. Yes. So
Indeed,
now
yeah.
the thing is, what Fomenko, yes, of course, he says there was a global civilization. He calls the big civilization known as Israel in Eastern Europe and Asia, yes, which has got Arabic coins all over it, but which was Orthodox Christian or Khazars at the same time, or they were Jews at the same time, or I just call them original Muslims. So now, of course, he tells us that this is going to be shocking for you. So the Jesuits form. And they form, and their leader, what was he? He was declared to be the prophet for what?
The apostle to the Muslims.
Let's use modern words.
Oh,
Yes, prophet.
either proselytizer to or persecutor
Yeah,
of the Muslims, depending on how you want to
yeah.
describe it.
So now the thing is, they formed on a certain date, and the thing is, but you can go. That's from Catholic websites, official Catholic websites. So now the thing is, if anybody reads my new book, they will soon be able to figure out what's going on, like the 33rd degree, and from 32 or 33, or the one that's missing. Now start counting how many points that are around that circle for the symbol of the Jesuits. How many do you see?
Yeah, it's 32.
32. And now you know why the 33rd is in the middle, the 33rd degree. Yes? It's the
Uh-huh.
one that fell from heaven. Yes? The image of God. Do you remember that part? Yes? And it became the earth or Malkuth. Do you remember?
Right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes. So that one is the one that's blank, and that's at the center. So the thing is, and so the symbolism is there because they know what their symbols are. But what Fomenko doesn't mention, and what I've not mentioned before because I couldn't be bothered, yes, because people have to do some research themselves. Yeah, I'm no slave of them, people. So the thing is, the Jesuits, when they formed, you cannot run the society without a president. On what day was their president, declared?
April 19. Wow.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
Raphael, please. Just a minute. Hang on, everybody who's listening. Raphael's just getting his glasses. Yeah. Have you got them,
Indeed.
Raphael? Okay. Try again. What date does it say?
1-9, so it's the 19th of April. Mm-hmm.
19th of April. Are you trying to tell us that maybe this history is a fraud? The history of the Jesuits could be a total fraud? Is this what you're trying to allege?
Well, it just seems they use the same coding where you have shown that in many cases there is something has been changed and something fraudulent going on, so that would lend credence
Yeah.
to the idea that yes, it could be completely made up.
Yeah. Yes. Now, the thing is, let's go a bit deeper, and then let's have a look. So, what we're going to go through, you can open the presidents, or you could call them generals, because there were soldiers. They were out to kill people. To convert Muslims was their aim and objective. Yes. So, let's have a look at this. These are a list of Jesuit generals. You could see them. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, the 14th general, 15, 16, it's boring. 17th, 18, so many generals. But then, after we get to the 18th general, what happens to this list?